Okay, the course what we are going to discuss here is Python full stack web development. So in that, from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the regular sessions. First, we discussed why this Python full stack web development is trending nowadays. This is the first point yesterday we have discussed. Okay, why this Python full stack web development is trending nowadays? Why? Because it is having applications in almost every domain, not only in IT field, almost in every sector. This e-commerce website is playing a vital role. Okay, not only in IT sector, almost in every domain, this e-commerce websites is playing a vital role. So see it here. Suppose if we take this Amazon and website, how this Amazon and Flipkart, the top e-commerce websites, which their turnover is in millions of crores, how these websites are designed and created? These websites are designed and created by using this full stack web development technologies only. Okay, now fine. So suppose yesterday I told you that if let us think that if 2 to 3 minutes, if Amazon has stopped working, what will happen? There is a huge business loss, and as well as the customers will lose their trust on them, they lost their reputation as well. But it is not happening. To run this or to maintain these websites in a successful way, these web developers are playing a vital role. Okay, this is the point you need to observe. Okay, to continue or to run these websites in a successful and efficient way. So full stack, nearly 20 to 30,000 employees are working on these different kinds of e-commerce projects. So okay, so mostly these e-commerce projects, they rely on the full stack web developers only, who is responsible for dealing front end, back end, and database. If you see these banking projects also, in banking projects also, full stack web development people is playing a vital role. And if you see this in traveling and booking also, these web applications is playing a vital role in our day-to-day life activities. If we take the food delivery apps, Zomato and Swiggy, this is also playing a vital role to us. Okay, how this Swiggy and Zomato has been maintained, and how these websites are designed and maintained, that maintained and designed by using full stack web development technology only. Okay, these full stack web developers are responsible for creating these websites and maintaining these websites in a successful way. Almost in every domain, the full stack web applications is playing a vital role. If you see this Ola and Uber, here also full stack web developers are playing a vital role to collect drivers, okay, nearby location drivers, okay, location to track it, all or to fix the price according to the distance. All these things is done by the developers only, backend team only. Suppose 2 minutes the full stack web development team has stopped working, lots of business loss will be happen. Okay, to run these websites or to maintain these websites, these full stack web developers are playing a vital role to us. Okay, and this is the point you need to understand. Okay, then fine. Next point, you understand this one? So everyone has understand why this full stack web development is trending nowadays. Why? Because it is having the applications in almost every domain. Okay, fine. Next point. Okay. First, we'll discuss what is meant by full stack web development. Okay, what is meant by full stack web development? We'll discuss. Okay, మన ఈ కోర్స్ ఎందుకు నేర్చుకుంటున్నామో everyone has understand why, because it is having the applications in almost every domain. Next, what we are discussing, what we're going to discuss, we are discussing what is meant by full stack web development. Full stack web development, you can say that end-to-end development of an application. End-to-end development of an application, we can call it as an full stack web development. So I came to know that due to some network issues or due to rain, a few people, 4 to 5 people, they said that they will attend. Okay, they will follow the recordings, and as well as they will attend the tomorrow, no problem. So okay, we'll have the recordings also Sometimes due to raid or network issue, if you're not able to join, you can follow the recordings also, no problem. So okay, complete development of an application. Complete development of an application, we can call it as a full stack web development. So full stack web development, it consisting of front end. So full stack web development, it consisting of front end, next one back end, and database. Okay, so these are the things consisting in the front full stack. And examples of the full stack web development projects are Flipkart and Amazon. So this Flipkart and Amazon are the full stack web development projects. Okay, they are designed and developed by the full stack web developers only. In the Flipkart, we are having the front end, back end, as well as the database also. I repeat again, full stack web development means a complete development of an application. End-to-end development of an application, we can call it as a full stack. So full stack consisting of front end, back end, as well as the database. You know, now I will explain you what is meant by front end in a detailed way. So front end. So front end, we can call it as an user interface UI. Front end, we can call it as an user interface or UI. Repeat again, front end, we can call it as a user interface UI, where the users can see and interact with the application. This is the point you need to know. Okay, I repeat again, front end, we can call it as an user interface UI, where the users can see as well as they can interact with the application. Okay, so front end, we can call it refers to how an web application looks. What is front end? Front end, it refers to how an web application looks. ఒక వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఎలా కనపడాలి, ఆ డిజైనింగ్ పార్ట్ అంతా క్రియేట్ చేసేదే ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ డెవలపర్స్ ఓన్లీ. ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్, ఇట్ రిఫర్స్ టు how an application looks or how an web application looks. This is the point. Front end, it refers to how an web application looks. So front end, you can call it as a client side. Front end, it can call it as a client side. So front end, if you are become a front end developer, front end, it is responsible for creating the websites. So front end, your responsibility is to create the websites, and in the websites we are able to create it is okay, what are the designs and what are the layouts and what are the structure content is there that will be created by these front end developers only. This is the points you need to know. If I open any website, I repeat again, visual part of the website, we can call it as in front end also. Front end, we can call it as an visual part of the website. Visible part of an website, we can call it as a front end. So if I open any website, so what are the visual part we are seeing, that one we can call it as an front end. So here if I open Amazon, what are the visible part of the website, that is front end. So front end, your responsibility is to create these designs and what are the logos, these images, this content on the website, everything it is created by the front end developers only. Front end, you can call it as an user interface UI, where the users can see and they can interact. So if I click on here the refrigerator, what is happening? So I can able to interact with these websites. Some action has been happening. So who is responsible for creating all these things? Front end developers only. So okay, front end developers. So okay, what is front end? Visible part of an website. Okay, again, user interface where the users can see as well as he can interact with the application. So front end, it refers to how an web application works. Is the point you need to know. Front end, it front end, it refers to how an web application looks. Okay, sorry, not works, looks. And front end, we can call it as a client side also, and it is responsible for creating the websites. So what types of things we can create? Designs, layout, what are the structure content you are seeing in the websites, it is created by the front-end developers only. Okay, ma'am? This is the point you need to observe. I think everyone has understand what is meant by front-end. Okay, now? If you got a job in front-end, your responsibility is to create this website, the designs, logos, all these things. How these websites will work, that will become under the backend. All these products, what are the data is there, that will be stored in the database. That is a different story. Okay, that one will focus on later. First, we'll focus now on front end only. Next session, we'll discuss about back end. Okay, so to create the front end, what are the technologies required? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JavaScript, and as well as the React.js. These are the technologies required to create these front-end applications. Okay. So one by one we'll discuss it. Along with that, Bootstrap also will use it. Okay. Now? So these are the front-end technologies required to create the website. Okay, front-end. Front-end. These are the front-end technologies. What are the things? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as the React.js. Okay, these are the technologies we'll use. So one by one, I'll explain you in a detailed way all these technologies. Okay, now HTML. First technology we are going to discuss from tomorrow is HTML. Okay, two batches I told you now. One front-end batch and one other is Python batch. So HTML, it is abbreviated as Hypertext Markup Language. So I repeat again, HTML is abbreviated as Hypertext Markup Language. This is the point you need to know. Okay, I repeat again. So HTML is abbreviated as here the Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, now? So I'll explain you in a detailed way. What is meant by hypertext? Why you are calling it as an hypertext markup language? I will explain here. Okay, now see it here. Hypertext. So test. What is mean by test generally? Test means nothing but content raster. Test means nothing but content only. What is mean by test? Test means nothing but content. What about hypertext, my dear aspirants? Hypertext means that a test containing multiple links, we can call it as an hypertext. A test containing multiple links, we can call it as an hypertext. Hypertext, we can call it as an hyperlinks also. Okay. I repeat, HTML is abbreviated as Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, 1 minute. HTML is abbreviated as the Hypertext Markup Language. In that, why you are calling it as an Hypertext Markup Language, we are discussing. Just now, I had explained about hypertext. What is hypertext? A text containing multiple links, we can call it as an hypertext. Hypertext, you can call it as hyperlinks also. So now I will show you in a practical way what is meant by hypertext. I think almost everyone has used this hypertext in your day-to-day life. So if I click on this Wikipedia, here I will enter the famous cricketer Sachin Tendulkar. If I click on here Sachin Tendulkar, so whatever the content you are able to see here, that is created by the front-end developers. Okay, that is created by the HTML only. What the use of the HTML? What is meant by test? I told you that. What is meant by test? Test means nothing but content. What is meant by test? Test means nothing but content. Now, what about hypertext? Hypertext means a text containing multiple links. We can call it as a hypertext. So here we are having the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is one kind of text. If you click on that, what is happening, my dear aspirants? It is navigated to the next page. So if I click on the again here Lok Sabha is one kind of text. If I click on this, what is happening? It is navigated to the next page. So these types of hyperlinks will be created by the HTML developers. What the responsible for the HTML developer? They are responsible for creating the hyperlinks. Okay, now everyone has understand what is meant by hypertext. A text containing the multiple links. If I click on the President of India, what is happening? It is moved to the next page. The great advantage of learning this full stack web development means is that real time will all the people will use different these types of web applications. That's the reason it is very interesting technology to learn, and as well as it is not the easy, it is a complex thing. You need to do lots of hard work to get perfect or to get pro in this. Next one, we'll discuss what is mean by markup language. Okay, na? See, my dear aspirants, HTML it is not an programming language. HTML it is an markup language. In markup language, just what we are having, we're having some specific set of tags only. Okay, by using these tags, we can create structure content on the website. Okay, you can able to create here the structure content on the website. This is the point in it. So HTML we can call it as a markup language. So in markup language we are having some specific set of tags. By using these tags we can create structure content on the website. So if I open this website, what type of content we are able to see it here? So observe it here, what type of content we are able to see? We are having headings, we are having paragraphs, we are having images, lists, tables, application forms, and hyperlinks. Okay, all these things is created by the front-end developers only. I repeat, what's the use of the HTML overall? HTML is used to create content on the website. HTML is used to create content, structure content on the website. What type of structure content we can create? So we can create in the form of headings. We can create in the form of the paragraphs, images. We can create in the form of the links. Okay, lists, tables, forms, application forms. What you are seeing on the website, everything is created by the HTML developers only. So I repeat again, here we are having the application forms, all these things we are using in our day-to-day life. So if I see these forms, application forms, these types of, all these forms is created, these types of forms. 1 minute. Application forms, if I write here the application forms, these types of forms is created by the HTML developers only. Is the point you need to know. Okay, overall what you have understand, HTML is used to create structure content on the website. This is the first point. Okay, what type of content? Headings, paragraph, images, and list. Okay, and now I will show you in a practical way how to create content on the website in real time. How to create, I will showing you. So for that, so I will explain you from tomorrow onwards. So everyone get ready with their laptops.